everyone, aeroplane hota hai Boeing and welcome to another episode of Now Showing. I'm your host Abhijeet, but it doesn't matter whether you've been working hard or hardly working the entire week. Come weekend and we all need our dose of entertainment, and that's where we come in. After all, life without entertainment is like barish without chata, vada without batata and fashion without paratha. So without further delay, let's take a look at what's brewing on this week's edition of Now Showing. Tamannaah, Bhatia and Diana Penty's new series, Do You Want a Partner, dives into startup dreams, alter egos and gangster loans. It serves up a cocktail you'll actually enjoy drinking. The Thursday Murder Club, starring Helen Mirren, Brosnan and Ben Kingsley, delivers all the charm and suspense of a classic whodunit, making it a perfect pick for your weekend home viewing. Kajol reveals why she never wins an argument in the Devgn household, talks about being compared to Mother Tanuja, and discusses making season 2 of the JioHotstar series The Trial with Jisshu Sengupta. And 90s star Sheeba Akashdeep gets candid about her friendship with Sanjay Dutt, the Salman Sangeeta love story, sharing the stage with Shah Rukh Khan, and her fallout with Saif Ali Khan and Amrita Singh. School mein hote the summer vacations. Let's start the show with this week's hottest releases and recommendations. After all, why waste time on searching what to watch when you can use that time to make yourself a nice bucket of popcorn that will go insanely well with your choice of movies and TV shows. So, on that note, here's our entertainment and lifestyle editor Tavishi Paitandy, who will guide you to some dhamakedar entertainment. Over to you, Tavishi.
Hey Abhijeet, thanks much, and hello everyone. This weekend, grab your popcorn and drink and chill on that couch at home, because your favorite OTT channels have some interesting picks to offer. So, if you thought startups were all about pitch decks, investors and hustle culture, think again, because Amazon Prime's Do You Want a Partner takes the startup dream, mixes it with gangster loans, alter egos, wigs and a whole lot of froth, and somehow serves up a cocktail you are not sure you ordered. Produced by Dharmatic Entertainment and directed by Archit Kumar and Colin D'Cunha, this series promises fizz, but what you actually get is foam, and not always the good kind. Here's the story. Shikha, played by Tamannaah Bhatia, wants to fulfill her late father Sanjoy's dream of building a craft beer brand. Except, plot twist, Dad's partner, played by Neeraj Kabi, stole the idea back in 1998 and went on to become a liquor king. Enter Shikha, who ditches her corporate job to chase the dream, teaming up with her bestie Anahita, played by Diana Penty. Now, because this is not Shark Tank but Drama Tank, nothing is straightforward. Investors magically appear, marketing campaigns go viral overnight, and at one point, Javed Jafri, yes, you heard that right, becomes a liquor tycoon with short-term memory loss. By the time he wins the Businessman of the Year, logic has quietly left the building. But here's the one subplot that actually crackles. Anahita invents an alter ego, David Jones, to survive in a male-dominated industry. Thanks to a hangover sore throat, her fake male voice takes off, and suddenly a struggling brewery has a fictional CEO. It's absurd, it's ridiculous, but sometimes it's genuinely funny. And then, because why not, Shweta Tiwari shows up as a gangster named Laila, who loans them 2 crores. Honestly, she's one character you don't want to mess with. Fiery, fabulous, and the only one who seems to know what show she's in. Now let's talk performances. Tamannaah brings sincerity to Shikha, even when the script gives her little to work with. Diana Penty is fully committed, juggling friendship, romance and a whole double life as David Jones. Ranvijay Singha, unfortunately, is reduced to the world's most supportive boyfriend, charming but wasted. Nakul Mehta, on the other hand, is a standout as Bobby, the brewer and single dad. And while Shweta Tiwari owns every frame, poor Javed Jafri is stuck with wigs, accents and a role that's frankly beneath him. Neeraj Kabi too is left chewing scenery as a cartoonish liquor baron. So verdict? On paper, Do You Want a Partner sounds refreshing. a story about women launching a craft beer startup in a man's world. On screen, it spirals into chaotic, often illogical subplots that make you wonder if the writers were drinking more than beer. But, and here's the kicker, it's never boring. At 8 episodes, 30 to 40 minutes each, the show is consistently inane, but also consistently entertaining. You'll roll your eyes, you'll laugh at the absurdity, and you'll definitely keep watching. Just don't bring logic to the party, because logic was never invited. Somewhere between scrumptious cakes, the suspicious bloodstains, and some very nosy pensioners, Netflix's The Thursday Murder Club finds its sweet spot. And honestly, it might just make you rethink retirement. Rolling hills, oak-paneled rooms, gardens out of a postcard, and murder mysteries served up like neat little puzzles. If that's what winding down looks like, then sign me up now. Now, full disclosure, this is adapted from Richard Osman's best-selling debut novel. Does the film capture all the charm of the book? Well, I really can't say because, like many of you, I haven't read it. But I have watched the movie, so let's get into it. The action unfolds at Cooper's Chase, a retirement community so fancy it could pass for a National Trust property. Forget bingo, the real action is in the jigsaw room. That's where 3 residents meet weekly to solve cold cases, and soon they rope in a 4th. Helen Mirren leads as Elizabeth, a former MI6 chief who hasn't lost her taste for secrets. Pierce Brosnan is Ron, a blustery ex-union man with just enough teddy bear to make him lovable. Ben Kingsley plays Ibrahim, a psychiatrist whose raised eyebrow says more than most people's speeches. And then there's Celia Imrie as Joyce, whose sponge cakes could probably solve half the mysteries on their own. Together, they are sleuths hiding in plain sight, because really, who suspects pensioners of pulling off Sherlock-level investigations? Their quiet life is appended when David Tennant appears as an oily landlord planning to bulldoze their paradise into luxury flats. A partner's sudden death, then his own, sends the police scrambling. Daniel Mays and Naomi Aki play the official detectives. But from the start, you know they don't stand a chance against 4 retirees with time, nerve, and very little to lose. And here's the fun bit. Their detective methods are equal parts ingenious and ridiculous. They sneak into police stations, wander into crime scenes, bluff, charm, improvise, and always get away with it because everyone assumes they are lost. That absurdity is exactly what makes them effective. But the film isn't just comedy. Jonathan Pryce as Elizabeth's husband brings heartbreaking tenderness as dementia creeps in. Joyce admits she feels invisible to her daughter. Yes, there are shadows, but there's also freedom, irreverence, and the occasional cake-fueled stakeout. The cast is a joy. Mirren commands the screen but leaves space for vulnerability. Brosnan trades Bond polish for pub scruff. Kingsley masters the deadpan pause. And Imrie, she's the secret weapon. Slyly funny, sneakily brave. Together, they feel like the friends you'd actually want to grow old with. Chris Columbus directs with warmth, wrapping English mornings, cozy interiors, and rolling countryside in a cinematic glow. So, should you watch The Thursday Murder Club? Absolutely. Not for the body count, but for the heart, for the humor, and for the reminder that life doesn't stop until you decide it does. And if the secret to solving crime is sponge cake, well, who are we to argue?
Thank you so much, Tavishi, for those recommendations. And moving on, after a successful season 1, JioHotstar's legal drama The Trial returns with season 2. The show's leads, Kajol and Jisshu Sengupta, along with director Umesh Bisht, sat down with my colleague Titash Chaudhary to talk all about it. Kajol also spills the beans on the one argument she never wins in the Devgn household and why her daughter Nisa would make the perfect defense witness, while Jisshu highlights the similarities between Kajol and her mother Tanuja. Check it out.
You know, I'll start with you actually, you know, the captain of the ship. There was Puglet, you know, and do you think that when you move from a film like that to a series like The Trial Season 2, because that was also a story about women, you know, that sort of sharpened your lens as to how you view a woman's story, which further helped you with this?
So definitely after Puglat, I was drawn towards subjects like these, and I was a huge fan of Good Wife and a huge fan of Kajol. So when this happened, so it was universe, you know, manifesting what I wished for. So yeah, so it was beautiful, and I was able to explore and take you know, that whole subject of the challenges which a woman faces in her life, because a woman is always under scrutiny, and you know, and if you are in position of power, you are always under further scrutiny. So that is something which Noyanka's character helped me to understand and, you know, explore that. And once you are working with very sensitive and very mature actors like Jisshu and Kajol, you are able to explore those emotions which are difficult to translate onto screen. So that was a wonderful experience.
Right. The other Kajol fan, I think, is you, because, you know, during the first season, you had said that, you know, one of the biggest selling points, you know, why I said yes, apart from, of course, the script was great, was because you were getting to work with her.
Absolutely.
Tell me one myth that you had about her that got bust after working with her.
Working with her, it's like a dream come true. I've said that earlier also.
Yeah.
The first day, I was actually, I was shaking. I was like, my hands were shaking and all.
Season 2, it was not your hands that were shaking.
मैं season 1 के बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ. So yeah, working from that day, now like she has really become a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And we have been working. अभी वो जो the myth you're talking about, that has actually gone. There's no, now I know the person, and she's being really on set. She's being really helpful, helpful on inverted commas. At times, really helpful.
Very helpful. I've been assertively helpful.
But it's lovely working with her.
Yeah.
At the end
Why did you say you were shaking? Were you like overwhelmed?
I was overwhelmed from the first. We were having a photo shoot, if I'm not wrong. The family photo shoots, which we started with that at the season 1, and yeah, and I went up to her and I said, "Ma'am, I've worked with your mother."
Yes.
And it was a great film which me and Shonar Pahadni and
Yes, I was
Tanuja auntie did. And the way she speaks, of course, I know, I've seen you. I said, so in my head, I'm thinking, she's seen my work. It was that. From there to working with her, and then second season, and you know, becoming good friends. And I think it's like God has been kind.
Do you watch your own work?
I have to. It's like punishment for me, but
Why?
because when I'm watching myself, I'm sitting over there and I am cataloging and I'm critiquing myself 100% of the time. So yeah, I don't really go back to revisit the movies, but I do watch it at least once.
Okay. So this time, did you go back to the first season to sort of reconnect with Noyanika?
I didn't do that,
Okay.
because I've seen The Good Wife.
Right.
I had seen this first season as well. I had my points in mind as to, you know, what Noyanika was about, her crux, and where she's going from here to there. So I had a certain arc in my mind.
Right.
And once Umeshji also came on board, and once Umeshji and me sat down and discussed all of it, we were very clear about where the whole season is headed, where the characters are headed, where each and every relationship is headed. So I think Umeshji was very, very clear as to how he wanted everything played.
Right. You know, when the trailer of this season, when we watched it, you know, the fact that, you know, you are about to give, you know, your husband a divorce, that is what we see. How do you plan on exploring, you know, what divorce does to a woman's dignity, family, identity?
It's not only divorce,
Yeah.
it's a complicated, difficult situation in which a woman has to make a choice.
Right.
So the moment, it's the question of not the divorce, but it's the question of giving agency to the woman. Because the society doesn't want to give that sort of agency to the woman.
And also the season is about what leads to that one statement that comes out there.
But you do believe that the stigma still very much exists, especially for women, even today.
Yes, I do. And I think the stigma lies with men as well.
Correct. Yeah.
It's not only a woman's prerogative. It is
Right.
definitely put onto, you know, when you see a man and, you know, if he says like, oh, I'm divorced. So it definitely is something that he carries with him. It's a title that he carries with him as well. So it's to do with, it is a societal pressure. Again, something that Nayanika has been dealing with probably, or been trying to deal with from season 1.
Right.
People looking at her like, how can you handle this?
Yeah.
People looking at her like, oh, you know, proud of you for handling this. So it's everybody's, there are so many opinions that are, you know, thrown at Nayanika as a character. Some of the moments are so nicely put.
Yeah.
Just one look here, one look there, that shows you exactly what a woman's journey in society is.
Right. You just mentioned Tanuja, ma'am, the fact that you worked with her in Shonar Pahar.
Right.
How similar or different are they?
I wouldn't see much difference between the way they approach a character because Tanuja aunty is also, you know, we have rehearsed for a scene and then she will tell me that, you know, I will do little different in the take. I'm not pushing myself right now. And that helps me. I'm talking about just myself as an actor and she being my co-actor. Similar, when we are rehearsing or we are doing something, it is like we are just saying our lines and I know she's going to push me and she knows that I'm going to push her. There are scenes, in fact, Umeshji used to be crazy behind both of us. Abhi serious scene hai, hum log thoda ye kar le. And then so many times I've been talking about it because that's one thing which I've actually taken back home from this entire series where we had so much of fun on set.
Right,
but
right.
If you're talking about Tanuja aunty and her, I feel that they're very similar. Very similar.
Before I let you go, I'm going to ask you, tell me, since this is, you know, she's a lawyer here, there's a courtroom there. One argument, this is for all of you, one argument you won at home that makes you feel like a successful lawyer.
Usually men don't win at home. They never win at home. They are a loser. They are flop lawyers at home.
We don't really argue. The one thing that we do argue about at home, most of the times, is about food. Food? Yeah. Okay. We have big arguments about that. We really have big arguments about that. And most of the times I lose that argument. I want to tell you that.
What? We can't believe that.
Because I want to order different stuff. And at the end of the day, the whole Devgn family is stuck on Chinese.
Oh.
I mean, it's a ridiculous argument to have every time. And I'm like, no, we should try Thai, and no, we should try this, and no, we should try something else and all. At the end of the day, I lose it every time because then after the argument is over, okay, fine, let's just order Chinese and get it over with.
If your life was on trial, one person who you would call as your defense witness?
My daughter. I would definitely call Nissa as my defense witness. The way she argues, that is, if she was on my side, there's no way I would lose. There's no way I would lose. My daughter, for sure.
I've got two people in my life, my brother, friend Saurav and my manager Sheenal. These two will fight for me and I will take a backseat and sleep aram se, I know.
Up next, we've got actor Sheeba Akashdeep, the 90s star who was a part of films like Suryavanshi and Miss 420 and was recently seen in Baghi 4. In this candid chat with my colleague Titash Chaudhary, she talked about her close bond with Sanjay Dutt and his family. Sheeba also talks about witnessing the Salman Khan-Sangeeta Bijlani love story, sharing the stage with Shah Rukh Khan, her fallout with Amrita Singh, and taking legal action against a producer who morphed her pictures. It's a conversation you won't want to miss, so tune in.
You know, you sort of made your comeback with Rocky or Rani, and you know, you followed it up with there was Jigra, Fateh, and now this. Tell me, how difficult is it for a woman actor who is married, who has children, who sort of took a little break to focus on her family, to really come back? How difficult is it to make a comeback?
A, it was not a little break, it was a long break.
Long, almost 20 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And B, it isn't really a comeback. It's just a gentle easing into working full time. This time around, it's a conscious decision to work with good filmmakers, huge production houses with great casts. I don't want to just do films for the heck of doing films. So I want to do films which people talk about, which people see, which I'm surrounded by talent and the best that money can buy.
Yeah.
You know, literally when you work with a good production house, you know, A, you're going to get treated extremely well on the set, and B, your film is going to get a great release.
Are you also being very conscious, because you know, I do speak to you know, actors from your generation, and they say that the only thing that keeps coming to us are these mother roles, you know, these one-tone mother roles. Is that something you're consciously sort of staying away from?
So far, all the 4 movies I've done this in the last 1.5 years, none of them have played a mom, but having said that, in real life, my greatest role has been that of a mom. So I am not going to shy away from the fact that I am a mom to grown-up kids.
Right.
And I have no qualms to playing the mother to my own heroes even.
Are you saying that you're okay playing a mother to, let's say, somebody like a Salman Khan?
I don't mind. If the filmmaker can see me there as his mom,
Fab.
I'll do it.
You know, coming to Baghi, you're working with Sanjay Dutt. You know, technically this is the first time where you're working together, because I don't know, there was Pyar Karo where you had a cameo.
So technically, Sanju and me are not in the film together.
Oh, you don't share screen space.
We don't share screen space at all.
But your first film, your Hindi film, which was Sunil Dutt's film.
Yes.
Yeah, so that connection is definitely there.
Yes. Sanju considers me family.
Yeah.
So even when we met on the set, he said, come home and meet Priya and meet Anju, and you know, we have to hang. And so for him, I'm like an old connection, and that means family.
But do you have any memories of him from that first film?
Yeah, matlab we would meet all the time, because I was in their home every single day.
Right.
I had zero work other than Ye Akka Bujhegi. And the Dutts were my family in Bombay. So yeah, I was hanging around in Ajanta Arts and in their home all the time.
And you know, when Manyata was pregnant, you sort of went there. You know, Sanjay sir spoke about it. You went to her place every day post work, I think. You were there for her, you know. Those
That was again an
months.
unfortunate time when she got pregnant and he was going to prison briefly. So he called me and said, she's alone. I'm leaving her up to you. So I said, of course, she's my responsibility. So from the time she got pregnant to the time she delivered the babies, I was with her every single day.
Salman being the bachelor that he is still now, and today...
We were all bachelors.
Yeah.
None of us were married.
So you never thought about it, ki, oh, you know, this guy perhaps is going to get married to Sangeeta? Never?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't something that I questioned. I knew that they were dating and she was on our set and we would meet in the house. But मैंने ये नहीं सोचा शादी and all. Again, we were very young.
Right.
So nobody was really thinking शादी.
Long term, right.
Yeah.
That is true. You worked with almost everybody, I think.
Yeah.
The one person we didn't see you doing films with is Shah Rukh Khan. But you did a lot of stage shows with him.
Lots.
In the West.
We did.
So
we did entire world tours together.
How was that? Like, he was sort of just starting out.
We're all colleagues.
Yeah.
So all fun and games, we're shopping together, eating together, doing shows together, backstage together, in and out of each other's green rooms.
Full fun, no?
Yeah.
What days they were.
Yeah, those were the days, my friend.
What was like a deal breaker for you when you were sort of, if I may say, your prime? What was that one deal breaker, one role, something that you would never do?
I had a bad experience with the producers of one particular film of mine with Rahul Roy. They turned out to not be nice people because before the release of the movie, that time people used to try and sell their movies pre-release or whatever they would do. They would have these publicity campaigns, and he morphed my pictures. And wo zamane mein, 90s mein, he morphed my pictures and created an extremely sexy poster, which wasn't me. My face was there, but that body was not me. So that's the only very bad experience I had. So subsequent to that, I didn't dub that movie. I refused to, and I complained and I filed a case, and case ka kya hi hota hai. But yeah, that was the only very, very bad deal I got as a heroine during the entire time that I was in the... Otherwise, I've met and worked with very decent people.
Did you reconnect with Saif and Amrita also after the whole dog incident?
Weirdly, I didn't meet Ingi again, but Saif I did. Saif, in fact, told my husband also that Sheeba will continue to be mad at me for that. So he's like, no, she's okay, because I became obviously in a bad state of mind and in a bad phase at that point of time. But okay.
It's okay. So, I mean, you will speak up to Saif if you see him
Of course,
at an event.
of course.
Right.
Definitely.
And do you speak to Amrita ma'am also?
No, I haven't met her in years and years and years.
Okay.
And with that, we have come to the end of yet another episode of Now Showing. चलते चलते मेरे ये गीत याद रखना, टीवी का रिमोट अपने पास रखना, because we'll be back next week with more reviews, recommendations and interviews. Till then, this is me Abhijeet Bhatt signing off. Stay filmy, stay fabulous.